Hello, fabulous friends and fans. Welcome to your horoscope for the week of October the 2nd, 2016. I am your astrologer, Nadiya Shah. Thank you for being here. This week is an interesting one for a few reasons. So the first thing I want to say right off the bat is that we did recently have a super positive, super lucky new moon. But a lot of people out there, including me actually, a lot of people out there are messaging me, especially on social media, and saying, if it's supposed to be so positive, so expansive, so lucky, how come I'm not feeling that way? How come I'm feeling kind of tense? Well, the reason really is going to start to become very clear this week, and that is because of a type of conversation that a few key planets are having called a square. Now, this particular type of conversation tends to be one of tension, but ultimately that tension lends itself to energy and motivation to improve your circumstances. Well, the sky right now is asking us to see beyond our illusions, to get in touch with that will inside to make a change and to commit to the process that change sometimes requires. The only way that you're going to get in your own way right about now is if you are expecting a magic pill. There is no magic pill. There is a magic process. And that is what will begin to be revealed this week. And that really is the point, I think. The point sometimes is to become the kind of person who can be or have and do whatever it is that you desire. And even if you can't pinpoint it just yet, it might just be that you want to feel better, that you want to do something different, or you want to do something that allows you to feel better than you do right now. Well, this week could have some answers. So hold on to the optimism promised by the new moon while we go through some very interesting celestial conversations that are going to encourage change and power, really empowerment. So there are two key and very important conversations happening. The first is between Mars and Jupiter. So Mars and Jupiter will be speaking in a conversation that astrologers call a square. And this particular conversation is one where it's about what we want and how we're going about getting it, how we are using our free will and our will, and where it is that maybe we are not being honest with ourselves, where we're chasing something that either isn't what we really want or is, it's kind of like this illusion I'm seeing, which ultimately can only end in disappointment, especially if we've put a lot of energy behind one particular area. Now, this clarity, this understanding obviously can bring empowerment and can bring a blessing, especially when you know that you can do something, which is what this sky is about. You can do something to make your life better. That's what we start to identify right around the middle of the week. So that is the blessing, but getting there may mean having to accept some tension, may mean having to accept where it is that we've already spent enough energy and now we're ready to make a change. Also this week, the other square conversation that the planets are having is an important one. It is between the Sun and Pluto. So when these two planets speak this way, it really does become kind of a confrontation, if you will, of egos. So that's what I'm seeing with this. Like, who's the most powerful? Who has the most power? How are we going to identify power? How are we going to define power? And what does power mean to you in your own life? So collectively, we might see some of this playing out, but certainly individually in our own lives as well, we might see some of this playing out also. Ultimately, the great promise here is that we get some clarity into the wise use of power. And that really is key. The wise use of power ensures a whole lot of things, right? Ensures that we take action that we can feel good about, of course, collectively, but individually as well. Well, that's what's going to be asked, to have that burst of clarity, to have that further burst of clarity now. So it especially is a very important time, a time where there might be some inner strife, there might be some inner tension, but ultimately it is leading us to understand the best course forward. And forward is absolutely the way that we are going, not only this week, but in the weeks to come. Also this week, the Sun will speak in harmony with Saturn, while Venus is speaking in harmony with Pluto. So both of these are very positive. It has to do with, yes, identifying where things have to change, but also having the will and also understanding the benefits almost immediately of making that change. So the sun speaking with Saturn says that we have a sense of groundedness. We're not going to get too caught up in too much emotion right about now, even though that will be the temptation. And there's something very addictive, right, about getting caught up in, getting up in the mix of some pretty potent energies, pretty potent emotional states as well. But what we're going to have with the sun and Saturn is also the invitation to be a little even-headed, to be a little calm, and to find the best, most mature, most responsible way forward. Not necessarily the most exciting words that you're ever going to hear, but certainly the words that lend themselves to greater self-respect. Venus speaking with Pluto is really nice. This is super romantic. This is just sexy, if I may say. And this can bring some very romantic turnarounds and also some very meaningful connections with it, where it comes to matters of heart, matters of desire as well. But also this has to do with, I think of Venus, yes, goddess of love, but also has to do with possessions and what you consider is worth having. Well, this can suggest a smart investment right about now. And it certainly is time to move forward with all that kind of stuff because of Mercury. Mercury will leave shadow this week. Yay, right? Mercury will finally leave shadow and will also enter the sign of Libra. So Mercury leaving shadow does mean that the whole retrograde season is good and over. Break out your electronics, go for a shopping spree right about now. Chances are the choices you make are going to stick around for a longer time. But also the fact that Mercury is moving into an air sign is very encouraging. There are a few things about this. One is Libra is an energy of relationships, diplomacy, being fair, and again, being even-handed. And so the fact that Mercury is moving into this part of the sky does suggest that these are going to be attributes that we are going to be talking about and defining in some way, or at least discussing in some way, so that we can reach our own personal definitions. And of course, Mercury leaving shadow, it's always a good thing. But Mercury entering Libra, being that it is an air sign, does lend itself to a measure of objectivity. There's no going back now that Mercury is out of shadow. But there is a sense of clarity on a level of mind, and also a sense that we can talk to each other. That is a really good thing, especially considering this year so far. It should be really nice to find that we actually can talk to each other, and that we can talk to people that maybe don't necessarily agree with our perspective, and yet there is a sense of calm and also an increased chance of mutual acceptance. And that sense of mutual acceptance, with all the differences, I do believe can only lend itself to even better things. Well, thank you so much for watching the introduction. I'm truly so grateful for it. Please like, comment, subscribe, share, thumbs up. It does mean so much. And obviously you guys are doing this. I'm really surprised actually. In the last 3 weeks, like my views have doubled, like literally doubled across the board. And it's pretty exciting. So I don't know what's going on. I'm just going to put it to good energy. But obviously a lot of you guys out there must be sharing my work. And I'm so grateful for that. Thank you. It does mean so much to me. And like I said, I do think a part of it is energy. I did come back from my trip from Thailand, and it was very powerful, very profound, and very meaningful to me. And I can feel the change, but I'm still kind of making sense of it. So for example, like last week I did do the video in my studio, and that's all good, fine and good. But then today I just felt like I wanted to be outside. So I am back in Cancun. This is the lovely lake and the Caribbean Sea behind me. And I just wanted to be outside, to be honest with you. So I thought, let's just make the video outside and keep the energy going. And I think that's so important, like really being mindful of my energy. And lots of other lessons have come forward, and I hope it's more and more evident in my work as we go along. My classes have started as well, our classes at synchronicityuniversity.com. I just had the first lesson earlier today, and it was incredible. It was a great group. I love teaching. I didn't know that I would love it so much until I started doing it. You all were asking me to teach classes. I did that back in August. And now this is the October series. So today we had a lesson called When You Find Love. So it had to do with identifying transits that indicate new love. And that is available for download. You can purchase that on my website and on synchronicityuniversity.com or nadiyashah.com. Next week, we're going to have a class called You in Love next Saturday. And it is live, but a video download, full video download is available at any time. And that's going to be looking at your own love style, what you need in love, what's going to matter to you in love, to help you learn something about yourself. And also, if you read other people's charts as well, to help you learn something about them. And ultimately, I think a lot of astrology is about having compassion. It allows you to see how we're all on this journey and we're all playing out our own archetypes, which allows us to have that much more compassion for each other. We manifest our charts in different ways, but a lot of the core lessons tend to be the same. I will be not teaching class in the middle of October, and I'll get to that in just a second. But I am going to be teaching the last 2 Saturdays of October. First, the second last Saturday will be on solar return charts. So it is a really good technique. It has to do with birthday to birthday. So just looking at that 1 year of your life and what that solar return chart would say, what you want to pay attention to, and identify key moments of major changes that are going to define that year for you. And the last Saturday will be about major cycles of life. So we're going to be going through like the beginning right to about 90 years old and look at all the major cycles, right? All the major lessons and changes that people go through right around the same age if they are fortunate enough to live a full life. And so I do hope that you will join us again. Previous classes are available for download. If you can't join us live, that's okay. You can download the video afterwards, but regardless, it's a lot of fun and I have really enjoyed interacting with you all, and I'm looking forward to an amazing October series of bringing Synchronicity University to life and live and real time. It's so much fun. Thank you so much. So it's synchronicityuniversity.com to learn more and to register. I'm super excited to announce that I have an upcoming live event taking place. Now, my event is going to happen on Sunday, October 16 at 1:15 p.m. and the talk is going to be 45 minutes from 1:15 p.m. to 2 p.m. So that's Sunday, October 16, and it's taking place in Orange County, California, at the Hilton a hotel, and it's happening as part of the ESR conference. Now, it is esrastrology.org is the website. You can get all kinds of additional information. That's esrastrology.org. And my talk is going to be about major outer planet transits to the moon. And the talk is called When Your Feelings Change. So looking at how feelings go through an evolution, they go through a change, and what major aspects tend to indicate that your understanding of what you need to be emotionally fulfilled, what you need to feel cared for in life, in love, is going to go through some type of evolution. It's a short talk, but it is a power talk. And I hope that if you can, you will join me. Now, in order to attend the talk, you do have to buy a day pass, to be honest. I tried to find out about just a single talk class. They said no, day passes only. So you can find out more about that on esrastrology.org. I do hope that I will meet you out there. I think it will be amazing. Afterwards, I'll be outside with a few copies of my book, not too many copies, but just a few if you want a signed copy of my book, it would be great. And I'm really looking forward to it. This conference really is a meeting of some of the most brilliant astrologers alive today. And it means so much to me to be in their company, to be among them. And also, I think like any live event, it tends to be so much fun. It is a lot of fun. There's a lot of learning. There's a lot of interaction as well. And there's a lot of positive energy to go around. And so I do hope that you will join me. Again, for more information about where the conference is taking place in Orange County, California, for more information about registration, all of that, it's esrastrology.org. And I really look forward to meeting you out in Orange County in California, coming up very, very soon, in like 2 weeks from now. It should be so fun. Now, I am going to be available for a very limited number of readings while in Orange County, and readings are mainly going to take place on the 11th of October in the afternoon, and also possibly in the day of the 12th. And also a limited number of readings will be available on the 17th of October as well. So if you are in the area and you would like a personal consultation, you would like to meet for 30 minutes or an hour to have a personal look at your sky in real time sitting next to me, it would be so lovely to meet you. You can reach out on my website, use the contact form on my website to let me know, and I can send you more information. We can make that happen. Or you can email me at info@nadiyashah.com. And again, we can absolutely move forward with that. And it would be lovely to meet people out there. And it always means so much to me to sit down one-on-one with people. I don't get to do it that often, especially because so much of what I do is entirely online. So when I do get to do it, it does tend to be very meaningful to me. And I really look forward to meeting you there, Orange County, in real time in the middle of October. I do love interacting with you on social media. Sometimes I'm asked questions that are a little bit more personal, that have to do with your unique birth chart, answering your unique questions. And if that's the case, please do consider a personalized horoscope where I can do just that. You can find out more about that on my website, nadiyashah.com. There are many different areas of focus. And also when you make your purchase, you are forwarded to a form that will allow you to actually tell me whatever it is that you want to say and explain if you want. You don't have to say anything. Focus in on whatever area you like. There's plenty of room. There's no limit. Some people like to write a lot. They like to tell me a lot. I'm so grateful for that. Some people not so much. They just tell me to hone in on a particular area of life. And so whatever it is for you, it just truly is a privilege to have that opportunity to look at your sky. So also on the website, it does say right now that if you make a purchase, please allow up to an extra 2 weeks, because that's kind of where it is right now. It's about 2 weeks beyond just the stated time frame. And so please do allow that little bit of extra time. I try very much to put my all into every video I do, and I want to make sure that it feels right before I send it to you, and I want to make sure to give it the time that it deserves before I send it to you, which means I'm not going to do 10 in one day, right? I'm only going to do a certain amount each day as part of looking at your chart and delivering a video that I truly hope you will love and you will cherish always. So again, that's personalized horoscopes. You can learn more about that on my website, nadiyashah.com. And of course, you being here though really is everything. It does mean so much to me that you are here, whether you can join me live, whether you're online with me, or whether you order a personalized horoscope, or whether you're just watching this video right now. My whole mission, everything I do, is about affirming in the world that the universe is wise and loving. And I do hope that this moment right now in some way affirms that for you, that this horoscope in some way does remind you of this essential truth, which I do believe is my mission to share in this lifetime. And you being here allows me to live that mission, and for that I am truly grateful. Okay, so now as the sun is setting over Cancun, we're going to watch it set together, and how all this wonderful stuff this week, all the celestial conversations this week speak to you in your sign is coming up right now. Hello, fabulous Aries. Well, it is your ruling planet Mars that is going to be having a rare conversation with Jupiter. These two planets are going to be speaking in a conversation of tension. And so it's almost like who you are and who you want to be, and the action that you want to take may in some way need to be tempered with what it seems is possible right now. It's as if you have a very lofty aim, or some aim that you're telling yourself is particularly lofty, and it's not moving forward maybe as quickly as you necessarily would like. Well, the great thing is that the sky this week does suggest an action plan. So there are steps that you can take to move whatever area it is now that is of greatest concern to you, that is of greatest meaning to you. Absolutely, you can move it forward with just a little bit of patience, which is hard sometimes, I know, but also a little bit of faith as well. In fact, faith can go a really long way right now, but also practical action. The sun is speaking with Saturn now, which does suggest that it is that measured approach, that responsible approach that can garner the greatest results. Now, where it comes to love, we've got a super active sky, and particularly with the sun in your opposite sign speaking with Pluto, this is pretty intense. So this can lend itself to, if you're open to meeting someone new, some very passionate connections, maybe even inconvenient connections. And if you are in an established bond, this can really be a moment that is very much about changing, like what needs to change. Where is it that you could be better? Where is it that you have a certain desire for this person? All of that is very much up for consideration now, but also very much up for solutions now as well. Hello, fabulous Taurus. Well, your ruling planet Venus is going to be speaking in harmony with Pluto, and especially early in the week, it is going to feel like all is right in your world. And this is true in love, this is true in life as well. So many different areas of life are going to feel like you understand what you could do, you feel motivated to make meaningful change happen, and in some way you're moving towards a transformation that seems to fuel your soul that much for the better. So allow yourself to roll with that. Even if there feels like there's a little bit of tension, very quickly it will give way to all kinds of optimism and a real sense of joy as you experience yourself moving towards the things that you desire. Now, this is in any area of life, but of course, these planets speaking has to do with love as well. Considering Venus is moving through your opposite sign, this is super nice where it comes to love. And this can suggest, if you're open to meeting someone new, meeting somebody where you feel like this person really could be long-term potential. And if you are in an established bond, a sky like this can only deepen the connection that you have. Now, it isn't all going to be like rosy perfect, but I do think of the entire zodiac out there, given how you are starting the week, really you are going to be one of the signs out there that is navigating this week, not only to your advantage for your success, but also to your advantage, to your happiness as well. Hello, fabulous Gemini. It is an exciting week all around for all of us. Now, for you in particular, we have got a lot of activity taking place. Particularly, I'm thinking about the sun. I'm thinking about Mercury. Mercury is going to move into super harmonious fellow air sign Libra. This is really good for love. This is really good for flirtation. This is really good if you have children as well. You'll feel the lines of communication opening. You'll be able to talk to them. If you want to have children, this is really good for having a conversation that points you in the right direction. However, I do have to say the sun in this same part of the sky will be speaking with Pluto this week. That is, some reality, some sense of wanting to do more than you are able to do. And again, this is true for these particular areas of life, where it comes to love, where it comes to connecting with people on a heart level. And ultimately what this sky says is do your best and surrender the rest. Whatever comes your way, not only will you deal with it, but you will excel through it. So there's no worries there. Your mind is particularly sharp, and wherever your ruling planet goes, it represents you, but your ruling planet is going into your element now, which does suggest that you'll be able to bring forward the best of yourself that much easier in just about any area of life. If you meet somebody now, there could be factors that are less than ideal. Yes, if you're in an established bond, this particular sky also does suggest that you might be asking yourself some questions, might have a little bit of a moment that has you considering how much you're feeling loved in this moment, possibly for a small percentage of you out there. And ultimately the thing is that this energy is asking you to channel it to create positive transformation. So with a little bit of motivation and just a little bit of action, you can find a deeper understanding with that person that you love. Hello, fabulous Cancer. What an exciting week it is. There's a whole lot happening in the sky now. I'm thinking about the fact that Pluto in your opposite sign will be speaking to the sun at the very foundation of your chart. So this represents a couple of different things. This can, of course, speak to love and partnerships of all kinds. As I look at this, I gotta say, for a small percentage of you out there, you might be making a choice right now in love that isn't really sitting well with possibly some members of your family, like your family of origin, maybe even your parents. Of course, there's a small percentage of you out there, but that could be a factor playing out here. It might also be that a person in your family is making choices in love that you really don't agree with. So what I'm going to say as I look at this is just go with the flow, really, as much as you can, and strive to understand. You'll get to that point of understanding once you get past that, oh my God, kind of reaction that could happen now. Now, also this week, as I look at the sky, Mars right now moving through a part of the sky for you that has to do with what we like to call other people's money, and it's speaking with Jupiter. And so as I look at this, I would say be really mindful of doing things like trying to renegotiate terms of a contract, or like your mortgage rate or things like that. It just looks like either there'll be a lack of clarity, or maybe you'll be going in with a lot more ambition, and then they sort of lay things out for you in a way that might feel not so comfortable. There are times when absolutely you should be going in there and you should be asking, and those times are coming up very soon. But this week, maybe not so much. Those of you in an established bond, I think that a lot of this energy can play out in terms of your spouse's income. There might be some changes, there might be some questions around that. There might be some conversation around that as well. And it does look like it's possible that your spouse is kind of making some very lofty aims or plans of some kind, changes being desired of some kind, and ultimately, depending on the light of your own circumstances, how you're going to negotiate that so that it feels right to both of you is part of the possible work that is there for you this week. Hello, Fabulous Leo. It is an exciting week all around. For you in particular, the Sun will be speaking in harmony with Saturn, but also in tension with Pluto. So it does look like there's a major decision to be had, and it does look like there might be a lot of pressure on you right now, whether it is for your time or whether it is more related to work as well. That absolutely could be part of this also. It is also possible that your siblings or cousins or neighbors in some way are part of some request for you to make a change or make some effort that might not necessarily be so convenient. At the end of the day, really do your best and surrender the rest. And the more reserved approach is going to get you a lot more than anything else. Honor that Saturn. That Saturn right now is in a super supportive position, fellow fire sign Sagittarius, speaking with your ruling planet, the Sun. What this does say is that you may have to make just a little bit of an effort, but really being restrained, being responsible, these qualities are going to go a really long way towards your success this week. We do also have this week Venus speaking in harmony with Pluto. This is really nice where it comes to love all around. It lends itself to some very romantic moments. And for you in particular, those moments seem to be happening right around home base. And so if you are in an established bond, home is absolutely going to be where the heart is, and so much more, where the genuine connection takes place. And if you are open to meeting someone new, I actually think that it might be a family member who introduces you to someone with real potential, or it just might be that you run into somebody that you knew way back then. Hello, Fabulous Virgo. This week, your ruling planet, Mercury, will leave your sign and also leave shadow, moving into a part of the sky for you that has to do with earning money, your income. So it does look like things are about to get busy. There's been a big focus this month, I spoke about in the monthly horoscope, big focus this month on money matters, income, and all matters having to do with finances are going to be very much a focus this month. And that, of course, includes this week as well. This is where you're going to start to feel things decidedly turn. Your attention, your thoughts are going to be very centered around what it is that you're trying to do to create greater prosperity. And there'll also be a sense of just having a lot to do. That tends to happen when Mercury moves into this part of the sky. Now, elsewhere in the sky, we have some interesting energy playing out. Sun in this same part of the sky, having to do with income, is going to be speaking with Pluto. And I have a feeling as I look at this, that you know the smart thing to do. You know what it is that you should do, that you have to do, and that's great. Saturn is being supportive to the sun during this time. However, it does look like, I think it's very likely to be a moment where there's going to be some invitation to have fun, but you've got to make money. There's other things that you have to do, and there might be some mixed feelings around that. It could also be that having to show up to earn what you need is taking a lot of your energy or is asking a lot of your stamina. Self-care here is key. Pacing yourself is key. With Saturn there, it is all about taking the measured approach. Don't make things bigger than they are. Don't globalize, right? This is a lesson I learned a long time ago. If something feels a little challenging in one area of life, it really is just in that area of life. It doesn't have to reflect or have anything to do with all the other things that are happening in different areas of life. So really important not to globalize any kind of problems and to not even think of it as a problem. Just think of it as something that needs to be managed a little bit on your road to greater prosperity. This week also Venus is speaking in harmony with Pluto early in the week. This is super romantic. This is super nice. And what this does suggest that any romantic overtures likely are going to go well, likely will be received well. And this is also very passionate for those of you in an established bond. For you, Venus right now is moving through a part of the sky that has to do with talking things out, having the conversation, and it is the conversation that is going to be key. If you're in an established bond, it is through words that heart connections are solidified. And if you're open to meeting someone new, you might want to try a little bit of the online world. Hello, Fabulous Libra. It is an exciting week all around, and for you in particular, a whole lot is happening. You really are the center of the party, partly because of the new moon we had last week in your sign, but also because this week you have the sun in your sign, making key conversations with Saturn, but mainly Pluto. That is the conversation you are going to feel. And what this does suggest is there's going to be a whole lot changing for you, and there's going to be a real sense with this energy of a desire to change, a very strong desire to change, knowing that maybe the evidence of that change might not show up right away. So you've recently been encouraged to start fresh, right? When you have a new moon in your sign, it's your chance to have your own personal new year. You've had that recently. If you are one of those Libras who still hasn't fully taken up the universe on its offer to begin again in some key way close to the heart, this is where it's going to start to make itself known. This is where it's going to start to feel like if this doesn't change soon, if I don't do something soon, I just can't allow myself to do that. I've got to take some action. So it can be a feeling of pressure. It can be you just putting pressure on yourself. So it's important for you to be really gentle with yourself. It's also possible, in all honesty, for a small percentage of you out there, it might be family that is putting some pressure on you, family of origin in particular, putting some pressure on you to make a change or to make a decision that you're not sure is the right decision for you. Ultimately, it is about you sitting with yourself and examining your own heart for the right choices that are right for you. Libra, where it comes to love, we do have Venus speaking in harmony with Pluto. This is good all around for all of us, and it does suggest a time when a particular romantic energy will be in the air, and you can capitalize on that. But by the time we get to the end of the week, you are slowly going to start building towards a particular conversation that's actually going to be exact next week. And I'll be here to talk about it then, but ultimately there is going to be a feeling of a choice needing to be made, some truth beginning to emerge, whether it is in your understanding of love and what brought you here or within an established bond. It's almost as if you feel like some kind of surprise is coming and you don't know if you like it. Well, more will be revealed next week, but for now, and particularly early in the week, just enjoy the vibes. Hello, Fabulous Scorpio. This week we do have Venus speaking in harmony with Pluto. This is energy that should work so well for you. I think you're absolutely going to love this energy because it does suggest a time when you are going to be feeling like you are very much in your element. You're appreciating your own unique beauty and connecting with it. And there's also a sense with this energy that love is either fortifying the love that you have, or love is changing you for the better in terms of the love that you may want. This absolutely is the time to be out and about. Some meeting with someone new could have a really transformative effect on your life. It could lead to more. That is possible. We do have the sun speaking with Saturn. That's very strong for longevity. But chances are, at least in the immediacy, it's going to be a lot of emotion. It's going to be a lot of heart. And practicality may or may not be there, but you certainly can enjoy this energy regardless. Elsewhere in the sky, we do have a lot of energy building in the sign just before yours. This is energy that's going to continue into next week as well. Now, I gotta say, there might be some stirring within you. It's almost like you want to do something, you want to change something, but you can't pinpoint it. You can't put your finger on what that is. The answers will come. More will be revealed. So allow yourself to go through that process. I will say this, really pay attention to your own dreams, to your own thoughts. It is, whether it's daydreaming or night dreaming, it is in that process that your unique answers of what it is that you are ready to change will come forward. And it is a change that will absolutely empower you. Hello, Fabulous Sagittarius. What an exciting week it is all around. There's a whole lot happening in the sky. Now, I really like at the start of the week, the sun is speaking in harmony with Saturn in your sign, which brings with it a lot of stability, a real adult perspective, and allows you to make choices that you can feel good about, choices that lend themselves to greater self-respect. But also this week, we do have a rare conversation playing out between Mars and your ruling planet, Jupiter. This is particularly interesting because this suggests that there may be some matter. It's possibly related to a friend or possibly much more personal, but it's almost as if I'm seeing you just determined to take some action, feeling like action is urgent, that it must happen now, that change must happen now. But how is it that you're going to do that? How is it you're going to implement that? How is it going to make it happen? It's almost as if what you want to do seems really big and really lofty. Now, you can be comforted by the fact that all the fire signs are feeling this in some way or another, that they want something really big, don't know if they have it within them to make it happen. Well, of course you do, and absolutely you do. It's just that as I look at this, if you're relying too much on other people to come through for you or to, help you along, they will help you along. But with a sky like this, it does suggest do your own thing first, and the people will notice, the people will follow. But for all that, we do have some pretty sultry vibes in the air as well, at least where it comes to matters of heart, matters of love. In particular, I'm thinking about Venus. Venus is speaking in harmony with Pluto. All of us are going to be feeling super sultry in the early part of the week. Now for you, there might be a measure here of gifts. There might be a measure here of spending as well, whether it's you that's giving gifts, whether it's you receiving gifts. That absolutely can be part of this picture. Whether you're open to meeting someone new, some kind of statement can take place with this. But also it might be you that is deciding that you are going to let another person know that you are interested. And if you're in an established bond, it very well could be that your spouse comes through for you with something rather lovely. Hello, Fabulous Capricorn. What an exciting week it is for all of us, all around, and for you in particular. We've got all this energy building at the top of your sky. The sun is there. And also, by the time the week is out, Mercury will move into this part of the sky as well. But what's particularly interesting is that the sun in this part of the sky is going to be speaking with Pluto this week and Uranus next week. So it looks like there's a lot of pressure on you to make something happen where it comes to your career, to make some kind of success happens. There might also be a lot of pressure on you to come through in some way, again, where it comes to some goal that you're trying to achieve. Could be career related, could be more personally related. This also can have to do with life purpose as well. It's almost as if there's this part of you that really wants to push, that really wants some change to happen, that wants to make some power move, but not exactly sure if this is the right moment to do it, and not exactly sure how things are going to come together to allow you to make the kind of move that you want. Well, look, here's the thing. You do your best and you surrender the rest. The sun is going to be speaking in harmony with your ruling planet Saturn early this week. which does suggest, particularly early in the week, you can be super productive. It's almost as if you can turn like whatever emotion and stuff, sort of put it to the side and just do what's effective and do what needs to be done for your ultimate success. And at the end of the day, yes, matters of career are going through a huge change right now. They're going through a metamorphosis. All kinds of possibilities are sort of showing up for you now, but also a real sense now of what change might mean for you is also very much with you. So just take it one step at a time, and the right choice for you will naturally start to reveal itself. When it comes to matters of heart, Venus is speaking with Pluto this week. Early in the week is a super sultry time for all of us. For you in particular, it has to do with a friend. So if you're interested in meeting somebody new, really look to your friendship circle to make a very profound connection take place. If you are someone who is in an established bond, this absolutely would be the time to connect with your partner on a friendship level, on a more social level, to be out and about. Ultimately, that will only facilitate the bond and really can solidify the commitment that's already there. Hello, Fabulous Aquarius. It is an exciting week all around for all of us. For you in particular, we've got a lot of energy, lots of things taking place in fellow air sign Libra. Now, this is just the beginning, really, this month in many ways. And as we're leading up in this week and next week, that really is where the party is going to be. This has to do with long distance travel. This has to do with higher education. And this also has to do with understanding your place in the world, possibly legal matters, possibly political matters as well. All of these are going to ask for your attention, a lot of your attention. And there might even be a little bit of challenging energy here. So what it does suggest to me is, I'm seeing a lot of people right now on Facebook saying things like, if you're going to post political stuff, just unfriend me for a little while, please. I don't want to see it. I'm actually seeing this a lot. And I find it really interesting, and lots of unfriending going on as well. Just be a little bit mindful. That could be how some of this energy does play out. Ultimately, you know the right choices for you, what you want to be exposed to, what you don't. But it does look like in some way you're being asked to practice some self-care and to consider where it is that you're going to allow other voices, other opinions in, and where it is that you want to set up some boundaries that feel right for you. Also, it could be a citizenship matter or a higher education matter is really asking for your attention, is going through some change. Go with the flow. Do your best, surrender the rest. With energy like this, you really are going to be shown over the course of the coming weeks the truth about what you really want, and really the truth can only point the way to bigger and better things. Now, where it comes to love, we do have Venus right now moving through the very top of your sky. So love and ambition and respect and achievement, it all is sort of blending together. If you're open to meeting someone new, it could be someone who's achieved what you admire, or a boss, where there's some energy going back and forth. Ultimately, again, up to you to decide what feels right for you. If you're in an established bond, this really is making some very big and very grand plans together, and really, why not? Dream big, and big things can happen. Hello, Fabulous Pisces. It is an exciting week. There's a whole lot going on right now. And in particular, I think about the fact that it's a lot about your relationship with financial institutions right now. And so there might be some need to make some changes, okay? There might be some need to overcome some challenging feelings. But overall, whenever there's this much energy in a financial part of the sky, it does mean that the money you need is there. You just have to do what's in front of you to do and show up for it. Now, elsewhere in the sky, we do have Venus speaking in harmony with Pluto. Now, Venus in a fellow water sign, Scorpio, this is so good for you. Of all the zodiac, you are going to be one of the most blessed where it comes to matters of love and romance and feeling the love as well, and some pretty sultry moments all around. Now, as I look at this energy, it does suggest that there's a real sense of possibility now. So if you're open to meeting someone new, really, it will feel like the world is your oyster. In love, but in any area of life, particularly early in the week. And as we move towards the later part of the week, we are also going to find that things get a little bit interesting, particularly if you're in an established bond where it comes to your spouse's income. So your spouse's income might go through a desire for changes. That might be something your spouse expresses to you, and it's up to you to decide if it is worth supporting some idea that might actually seem a little bit out there or not. But ultimately, look, Venus is speaking in harmony with Pluto. So that's good even for the love you have, to solidify understanding and commitment all around. Well, thank you so much to all signs out there. Thank you for watching the sun come down with me. I hope you didn't hear the dogs. There were lots of dogs going off at one point. But I hope that you enjoyed being here with me. And thank you. Until we connect again, take care, and it'll be a great week. Enjoy.